Monday through Friday from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern, blasting out on XM 166, and, of course, simulcasting on wonderful AM and FM affiliates across the United States, and streaming audio and video at Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv, and PrisonPlanet.com. Okay, I want to give the number out at the start of this hour before I jump to some of this news for Obama supporters, because they don't seem to get that if you didn't like Obama, you must agree with all the Republicans. No, Obama's a big liar. He's a globalist, and he plans to shut down our economy to bankrupt us under government control. Just like they said, hey, the storm's great. It makes you dependent. Now Michael Moore has agreed with what Chris Matthews said, thanking God for the storm. They want to control and run your life. Sharecroppers, the guy that owns the sharecropping field never wants the sharecroppers to get enough money to be able to get off the plantation. And you got to buy everything from the company store. When blacks went out of slavery at the end of 1867 or so, they just became sharecroppers. Well, they were now just like all the white slaves, and there were many history books written about how it was even worse, because now they could even drop it down more than people that were complete slaves, because now you could compete and compete and compete and make them sign a contract to live as sharecroppers to work for starvation wages. Because, again, you had to buy everything from the company store. You know, the old black blues hymnal. We ought to pull up the lyrics or find an old, 80-year-old recording of I owe my soul to the company store. That's, in a nutshell, what globalism, what crony capitalism, what monopoly, New World Order-ism is. And they're here, and they're imploding the world economy right now by design so they can play the part of the saviors and get us all back on the plantation. Okay? That's what the Romans developed over 2,000 years ago. That's what we're now going under right now. Scientific version of it, though. And they're bombarding with the most degenerate, anti-family, anti-liberty messages, anti-founding fathers, anti-gun, pro-pedophilia, all over these shows on HBO and you name it, with little girls. I'm going to do a report on it probably tomorrow. I wasn't even aware it was this bad. They were showing me where they've got little kids, just doing stuff I can't even say on air. On mainstream television, some of the most popular shows in the country. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. You're like, why is this happening? To totally just overthrow everything, where no one even knows what's going on anymore, where they can get away with murder. I want to hear from Obama supporters how this is a great thing. Not how, well, he's better than Romney. I want to hear from you. And listen, you're strutting your stuff right now. I mean, I had a guy calling yesterday and with just total satisfaction and tell me that, the age of the white man was over. And I was a white guy. And the age of the white man, how about the age of reason? Where you don't like government-run health care, you're a racist. They just throw it out there. It's so mindless. I want to hear from the Obama supporters. Tell me how great it's going to be like Chicago and New York when they ban our guns. That's now being announced. Tell me how great it is to have 1,000-plus power plants shut down. Do you know what that's going to do? Tell me carbon dioxide that plants breathe is bad. That's all these power plants put off is water vapor in that. Tell me how the environmental movement isn't a eugenics movement meant to create a managed economy by the elites. Tell me again why General Electric and others pay zero taxes, but they're about to bring the general tax up to over 40% for somebody that actually works. Just the income tax, not all the dozens of others. Tell me again about how things work. Tell me again about how your electric car is good, but a gas car is bad when the electric car is coming from a coal power plant, the power. Tell me why I'm bad because I spend 18 hours a day studying and researching, and you just sit there and feel like you're a winner and go, oh, too bad your guy Romney didn't win. Folks, people in the endorsement of Obama says, you didn't build that. We want to turn our guns in. We want open borders. We want global government. We want to shut down our industry. We want to be dependent. It's not that Romney was ever going to win. It's clear now. Total election fraud everywhere. And we don't even know what it is because of these machines. Might have been Romney, might have been Obama. They just have it out there in our face. Bev Harris yesterday, where they're announcing all over the country, states for Obama, states for Romney, when none of the votes of the day were counted. They just said, oh, here's the winner at 7 o'clock. This is what's going on. This is big, folks. And you notice the economy is imploding. I told you they'd do that. Now he's reelected. Now he's not facing reelection. They can say, oh, my gosh, things are imploding. We've got to have a new carbon tax. We've got to have a new value-added tax. We've got to, and you know what? They've now announced it. I was in there during one break. We've got CNN on in the coffee room. I was in there getting water. And they were announcing, yes, the new VAT and new carbon taxes will get the economy going. I'm walking back there to get more water. And David Knight, our reporter, walks out. He goes, they're in there calling, about the mass shootings to ban semi-autos. You're right. And I walked in, they were saying it. It's on, folks. It's on. Boom. It's the day after the election. The day after they got Obamacare through, they said, you know what? It does control what care you can get. It does create panels, and we need death panels. We need to get rid of old people. In fact, I saw it on screen. You found the article. The Bioethics Journal, put it up, guys, came out and said, remember, months ago, we need to go ahead and get rid of babies, even when they're healthy. Hey, if we're aborting children in the womb, why not abort them up to age 3? It's the mother's choice. You guys had it on screen when I was out there during the break. On that computer right over there. There it is. Medical journalists call for afterbirth abortions. Say infants aren't people. They don't have a moral right to life. Afterbirth abortion up to age 3. Click on that, state in their paper. Click on the blue link right there. A study published in the Medical Ethics, the Journal of Medical Ethics. And it looks like they've changed the link, but you can just type in that actual journal. Just type in their names. Study authors Alberto Gibaluni and the other guy, and you'll find it. Yeah. So there you go. This is what's, I know them. I know who they are. I read the books they wrote. I know their plan. You read 1984? You read Brave New World? Well, you better read them. And you better take them like a deck of cards, and you better put them together. And that's what you're going to get. And that's not me saying that. That's Aldous Huxley, whose brother ran the UN, Julian Huxley. Here's the toll-free number for Obama supporters, 800. You can call me on your Obama phone, 800. He gave you a phone. He's going to do more. 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. No excuses. No excuses. I want to hear from you. I am beside myself, though. I have CBS News. I have Reuters. I have the Second Amendment Foundation. I have Infowars.com. I have them all here with the links to the statements, and I just saw it on CNN. They are going to try to ban and physically make you turn in all semi-auto handguns and rifles, just like Obama said in the second debate, and they're going to do it all. And they say this means you will have to turn them into the, quote, authorities. Turn them into, not the servants, the authorities, because you voted for Obama. Well, I'm sorry, 51% says I have to be their slave. Not the case. See, I'm in a republic versus a democracy. And yes, the Greeks, during some of their periods, some of their city-states that practiced democracy, they'd have a bucket of white rocks, a bucket of black rocks. People would go to other buckets and drop in. The black rock is a yay, or a nay. A white rock is a yay, a yes. And they would vote to kill people. We don't like what you said. Let's go up and have a vote. Okay. Their favorite thing was to make you drink hemlock or throw you off. My dad and mom actually took photos of the famous, I forget the name of the cliff, where they would march philosophers and people up who criticized the government or whatever and throw them off. Hey, you like a 1,000-foot cliff? We're throwing you off here. How's that sound? Yeah, you know what? I don't think I want that democracy. Because, I mean, people would vote on electronic voting machines. Wouldn't matter if everybody said, we didn't vote to kill Alex. We like Alex. Let's raise our hands. Oh, we're not going to raise hands. The machine says Alex goes to a re-education camp because that's how the Soviets do it. Well, that's reasonable. Let him work for the people and learn how the little guys feel. That's what they always tell the dumbed-down, unwashed masses. Oh, you see this business owner? Well, guess what? He's getting 10 years in Siberia. Yeah! And now, oh, you can go run the business. A month later, it's all completely collapsed and a bunch of infighting. And half those people have been sent to a re-education camp because the only place they can get work now is in a total slave situation. China, North Korea, all of it, Nazi Germany. It ends up being giant slave factories. That's the people's paradise, National Socialism. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't read, let's not exaggerate, 100 or more history books on World War II from different angles and perspectives. In fact, let me be honest, I probably read 150. I forgot, like in a one-year period, I read about 50 one time, got totally addicted. I know all their names. I know about the fights with secret societies in each country. I know all about the Roman Empire. I know all about the Byzantine Empire. I know all about the different African empires. I know about the Chinese empires. I know about the Japanese empires. I know about the Mesoamerican empires. I know it all, a general understanding of what humans do. And let me give you the little news flash here. We're going in to absolute red-hot despotism. And you're like, well, things are bad, but they don't look, they're going to implode everything. If we don't wake up to the crooks that run things, you understand that? Of course they stole the election when they selected both the candidates. And then they stole it again because we know fraud went on everywhere. And now we're here and they're going, yeah, we're coming for your guns. And folks, they don't care if a bunch of cops and military die taking our guns. In fact, they want them to die. That's part of the plan as well. Have us kill each other.
While we fight to retain our liberty, while we fight to expose globalism, we have to realize we're talking about a very powerful combination of power.
Renowned author and expert Joel Skousen breaks down the globalist plan to shut down America and stage a new world war.
In one day, America will go from day to night. And if you haven't prepared in advance, there's not enough time to prepare in 24 hours, even if you saw it that early.
Coming to the Info War in November is our new documentary film presentation.
Strategic relocation is a systematic way to think strategically in the future about how do I safeguard.
Joel Skousen, Strategic Relocation.
The freeways are going to be crowded, they're going to run out of gasoline, they're going to run out of food, and then they're going to start to go north and south of those freeways.
Joel Skousen is renowned as one of the world's foremost experts in strategic relocation and the securing of your home.
We talk about natural disasters, the health environment, we talk about pollution, the water quality. My personal experience about being in every one of these states.
Government is digging in for the organized, incremental collapse of society and world war.
The U.S. isn't building huge underground bases and bunkers because of some terrorist threat. They know that a massive nuclear attack is coming. They want that attack to come. Most people won't even be ready and won't be able to get out of town when any of these nuclear weapons fall, because there'll be absolute panic.
There is no preparedness without strategy.
What I tell people is that you do have time. Prepare wisely in advance.
This Christmas, give the gift of preparedness. Strategic Relocation, the film, with Joel Skousen and Alex Jones. Obama decision puts America on trajectory towards financial mega disaster. Mike Adams breaking that down. Mark Faber, Jim Rogers, top analyst. Quote, Obama is a disaster. The stock market should have fallen 50%. And you should buy yourself a machine gun. I need to buy a tank. It's going to be more inflation, more money printing, more debt, more spending. That's a compilation of quotes from Faber and Rogers out of Investment Watch blog. I mean, it is on. Harry Reid on hiking debt limit to 18.794 trillion. We will raise it. I've got Fed report, 100% chance of recession. We've been in a depression for 4 years. Debt ceiling likely to be raised without fanfare. McDonald's sales dropped for first time since 2003. It just goes on and on. Harry Reid announces filibuster crackdown, giant tax increases. Carbon taxes being announced, defense layoffs being announced. I've got a whole stack of them here. Wall Street casts its vote. The market is going down. Obama re-election prompts largest stock market drop in a year. Bloomberg reports, again, massive carbon tax, $200 billion a year. I mean, and they say they're just going to levy it on the companies, and they'll just pass it on to you. The gas distributors, the oil distributors, all of it. They're just going to do it. The coal distributors, you're just going to pay it. You're going to pay it like a VAT up in production. All right, I got a bunch of people here. Mike likes Obama in Illinois, 1520 AM listener. Tommy loves Obama. Jonathan in South Carolina loves Obama. Robert loves Obama. Colin says they disagree. I don't know what that means. I'm taking Obama calls right now. People that love Obama. Hey, if you tell me, Mike in Illinois, listening on WLUV 1520 in Chicago. We're a huge listening audience there. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me how Obama's great.
Okay, well, after the last administration, the Republican administration of 8 years, do you realize that the Bush administration set up Homeland Security and Northcom with the consulting advice of former enemy nationals, communists from East Germany and the Soviet Union?
Yeah, Marcus Wolf, Primakov, and others. I broke all that. But Obama expanded all of it. I told you they're all puppets. Don't you get it? They're bad, and so is Obama.
I understand that, but if it wasn't for George Bush, Obama wouldn't even be possible. I mean, this is the man, and this is the administration. I shouldn't say the man. The last administration is the one that really set us up to be destroyed. So,
okay, but I mean, you like Obama. I mean, I just don't. I understand the other guys are bad too. I'm saying, do you understand that they want to make it like you have it in Chicago, where you can't own guns? They want to try that in Texas. I mean, can you imagine what's going to happen?
Well, maybe you're way ahead of me, Alex, but I just don't see him as bad as what we had before. I hope I'm right and you're wrong. That's all I could say.
Well, thank you, Mike. That was a much more cogent person. I mean, the guy yesterday was just really getting off. I've had people on the street going, "Hey, Alex, sorry." It's like it's Choose Your Own Adventure novel. Well, it's Choose Your Own Nightmare. Either one would have been bad. It's that watching your idiotic satisfaction is what gets to me, okay? That's just moronic. Let's talk to Jonathan in South Carolina watching on prisonplanet.tv. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Alex, hey, I have to tell you I'm actually speaking on behalf of someone who doesn't have the guts to call in, but is the biggest Obama supporter that you could know. He thinks QE3 is going to save our country from the economic problems of out-of-control capitalism.
Sure helped Zimbabwe and Germany.
Oh, absolutely. He thinks that it's good to give up our guns. We don't need them. Why would you need guns? All they're used for is violence.
Yeah, exactly. The threat of violence against criminals.
You're a crazy, out-of-control, fringe conspiracy theorist who makes things up. He honestly gets the news from MSNBC, and it's you can't speak.
No, I hear you, but you're not. I know that. I appreciate your call. But listen, we're going to go to break, come back with a few more, and then Paul's going to give us a report, Paul Watson, on some breaking info, and then we're going to go back to your calls here. And then I'm going to get into the economic stuff because this is going to be bad. One of my crew has a house they rent, and he's only been down here about a year and a half. He's going to get a house soon. But he's got a house he rents, and the wife of the owner of the house, I guess one of the owners, found out that he works here. And came over to him and said, "I'm a former Marine, and it's impossible that Alex Jones snuck into Bohemian Grove. He's a liar. Like, you're a Marine, so everybody else doesn't count." Because, see, in their mind, no one has any get up and go to do anything. And so just because they say I'm a liar, I mean, I've admitted to going to Bohemian Grove.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done's been right.
I'm going to go back to some Obama supporters, then I'm going to get into the economic news here. But look at this article out of the Telegram.com here in the U.S. by Mark Blazes. It says, outdoors paranoia of gun control victimizing Obama. He goes on to say Obama has made no such attempt to try to restrict guns in any way. And he goes on to say, but sportsmen are being lied to by the Safari Club and the NRA. Now, folks, Obama, when he was a state senator and a U.S. senator, said he does not believe, and we've played these clips, it's on record, that anyone should be able to own guns except government. And Obama said in his second debate he wants to ban all semi-autos, including handguns. And where he's from, in Chicago, they have a total gun ban for the citizens unless you jump through 85 million hoops. It's basically impossible. New York's totally banned guns, New York City. All over the world, they just keep restricting, register, confiscate. Look at England, look at Australia. And then they finally get rid of the gun clubs where your gun is kept in a locker, and now they've banned fox hunting. And so foxes, I saw this article, go into people's houses and kill their babies. Foxes get big, folks. They're in the dog family. They're not dogs, but they're close to it. And they are meaner than a box of rattlesnakes, a barrel of rattlesnakes. And now they're just killing people's cats. They're killing people's little dogs. All over Austin, when I hike, I see my cat to be able to find the cat. And I talk to people who see their little dogs and cats being eaten by coyotes. But then the environmentalists say, but they shouldn't allow controlled hunts of the coyotes when there's giant green belts coming into Austin, and there's packs of wild dogs, and they're even killing people's big dogs. And this is what happens when you remove the predators. You become the prey. It's like mountain lions killing people. And that's what they want, these totally domesticated people. Everywhere the globalists are in control, they take everyone's firearms. This is what they want. And Dianne Feinstein has now come out and said, yes, last year they had, 5 bills that would ban semi-autos. And now they say they think they've got the votes. They got more votes in the Senate. They're saying Obama may do stuff with executive order, like he's going to do on cybersecurity. If we see, they're trying to go under the radar right now, but if we don't stay on top of them, they're going to go, you have a right to own guns. We just have a right to restrict your ownership of firearms. So that's what's happening on that front. I mean, here it is, Fox News, gun control treaty will reveal gun laws Obama really supports. Well, I mean, we did analysis of it. We've done analysis. Kurt Nimmo just did another story at Infowars.com. It says in the UN gun treaty that civilians won't be able to own guns. It says that other governments will come and help other governments disarm their people. I mean, it's all there. I've had Bob Dacey in with an hour-long special report on it you can pull up. Just Bob Dacey on UN gun treaty. I mean, he writes for the New American Magazine. Continuing, UN celebrates Obama re-election, Sacramento Bee, by pushing global gun control, says Second Amendment Foundation. Why gun stocks soared after Obama's win? That's out of Top Stocks, MSNBC. Investors ran to buy gun stocks. Gun sales exploded to the all-time high. Following Obama victory, U.S. backs new UN arms treaty talk. Victorious Obama rockets back on the gun control radar with UN arms treaty. Yeah, and I'm in there watching CNN, and every time I go back there, they're saying we got to ban guns. Hey, but now the talking point is everybody agrees you got a Second Amendment for hunting, which is when it's not for hunting. It's for tyranny and criminals to be stopped. But we're just going to ban those big evil ones and register all the others you bought at gun shows from private people. We need to know where every one of them is. And we're going to put cameras in outside your house without warrants. And we're going to come in your house without warrants now for a gun security check. They're already doing that all over the country. I mean, they are in our face. We got Paul Watson? We got Watson. That's good. We're going to go to him then in just a moment. But this is the mind game they play. There's no death panels in the bill. Oh, yeah, of course we're going to deny old people care and tell the doctors what they can do. And, yeah, it doesn't cover pre-existing conditions, and it was written by the insurance companies, and the only stocks to go up are the health stocks because they wrote it, and it's a big, giant scam, blah, blah, blah. My dad's in healthcare management. He can come on the air. Wall Street Journal bragged it was written by the big boys. But it doesn't matter. These little suckers want to go, he gave me a phone, he's going to give me more. Yeah, they take the economy, crush it, and then make us all desperate, and they hand out little chicken feed to everybody. Now, I want to go to a few more Obama supporters to see if there's any real ones here. We have a listener in Tennessee listening on WBCR 1470 AM, one of our oldest and greatest affiliates right outside Knoxville. William in Tennessee, do you support Obama?
Yes, I do.
Well, tell me all about how great it is.
Well, to be honest with you, Alex, you know, he has not mentioned banning guns. And I defy you to tell me where he has.
Okay, just for you, I will do a piece tonight where I will show in the UN treaty and their interpretation of the treaty, where they say they want to ban the civilian ownership of firearms, and where they say that they will have other countries come in and take people's guns. I mean, we've written the articles, we've done the reports. I will pull them in and do it for you again. And then also I will get you the quotes so people start going and getting the crew to get these. That's what the reporters are there for. I need to pull his state senator quotes from his platform as state senator in Chicago. I mean, they're in Illinois, from Chicago. And then I want to get his attorney general's quotes about how they want to just outright ban guns. Citizens should, Eric Holder's on record. And, I mean, there it is right there. Obama said he wants to do something about not just the semi-auto rifles. He goes, not just the assault weapons, but I want to do something about these handguns, too. Well, so that's what Dianne Feinstein, it's in the Sacramento Bee. Dianne Feinstein's saying they want to get, like, California laws where you have to restrict them. Last year, the ATF proposed a new rule, not a law, but it got shot down. People said, well, you don't have that power, saying all shotguns, over 60% of them manufactured right now, that take a clip or can take or semi-auto have to be banned because they can be modified to be full auto. So, I mean, you just say, I defy you to show you. I mean, sir, have you seen them ban guns in all these other Western countries?
No. I mean, some have, but that's not going to happen here. Look, because it's a conspiracy website does not mean it's true.
Okay, so
you are.
Now listen, hold on just a minute, sir. You just called in. And I just gave you a bunch of news articles where the UN says they want to. I mean, the UN takes guns all over the world, and we've written articles. I've told you where you can find them. Kurt Nemo just did one. By the way, the stock market's down 76 points right now on the Dow Jones Industrial. Let me just go to the front page of InfoWars here. I've got like a Mac Mini in here, and it's slower than Christmas. Maybe, can we restart my computer every day? Because what ends up happening is I get in here, and we just oh, you did restart it today? Well, it's slower than Christmas. Well, I know we got it because it's not loud, but we need to put me a fast computer in there, drill a hole through the wall. That way you guys can control it anyways, because it's paralyzing me. Something's wrong with it. I'm going to smash it during the break, actually. That's got to be the only way to get rid of it. Well, sir, you just said it. You said the word conspiracy theory and that nobody wants our guns. And I guess you're denying that the rest of the Democratic Party, that they're always calling to ban guns. You're saying the Violence Policy Center, Sarah Brady, big contributors. Are you saying Rahm Emanuel didn't say that he wants to restrict our gun ownership and that he wants to put us on a no gun buy list with no judge or no jury? Are you saying that's not true either?
Are you really saying the one person having an opinion?
Hold on, put him back on hold. But, sir, listen, I need you to answer my questions. You said, I want the proof. I mean, I gave you all sorts of proof. I read news articles before he came on, but I'll put a whole report together because I'm already planning this. They're out of the gate saying they want to ban semi-autos right now. They introduced 5 bills last year in the U.S. Congress to do it. That was on record. And you just say, oh, conspiracy website, that's not going to happen. Sir, in the city Obama's from, is there a gun ban for the general population?
I don't know. I live in Chicago. I have no idea.
There you go. You live in a world of ignorance. All you do is say the word conspiracy theory.
God, you're nuts. You are a freaking wacko. You know that?
Mm-hmm. You bet. Crazy like a fox, too. Mm-hmm.
You're a wacko. Oh, my God.
Guys, I want clips. Put him on hold again. I want clips of this guy in between. In fact, I want to hit him hard. I want all the reporters to do their own reports, too. Showing the quotes, showing the statements, showing the articles, showing the documents, cutting back to him, saying it's not true. Keep hitting us. You've got the floor. Go ahead.
Oh, my God. I cannot believe you're on the air. Look, pal. Putting your own website does not make you an expert. I have looked everywhere in the papers. I have been researched myself. They're not going to ban guns. People have opinions about it, yes, but that's not policy, right? Is that right?
You just said you can't believe I'm on the air. Do you support the 10 senators and more than 50 House members that want to ban free speech on talk radio and make people only repeat government talking points?
Where is that coming from? What bill is that?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You just said
what bill is that?
Hold on one moment. Well, actually, it's an FCC regulation, and there's literally hundreds of articles the last couple of years where they've had FCC debates and letters from the Congress people saying they want the fairness doctrine brought back in that was in place till the mid-1980s, and now you're showing your ignorance again. I'm talking about admitted things here, like Washington, D.C. exists, or Jesus Christ existed. or George Washington existed, and you're here trying to imply that there wasn't a, quote, fairness doctrine with its Orwellian term, and that last time I checked, there it is, Obama calls for renewal of assault weapons ban. What is that, ABC News? Yeah, ABC News, boom, hit you hard, bud. I mean, we're going to hit you so hard. In fact, I'm going to start doing this every day. We're going to get you people on, and everybody's going to see who you are. Now, okay, are you telling me, hey, do you think I should be allowed to be on the radio? Let's ask you.
Oh, my God. I can't. Is your show for real, or is this a comedy act?
There you go. More hyperbole, man. Listen, buddy, listen. Guys, type in 10 senators call for reenactment of fairness doctrine. Do you know what the fairness doctrine is?
Yes, I do. It's equal time for both parties. Has it happened yet?
They're trying to bring it back, and you say equal time for both parties. What about those of us that don't believe in either one of the parties? That's like 50% of the public now in major polls see through the illusion.
The illusion?
Yeah,
please
bud.
Tell me please tell me you're a comedian. This is an act. Because you are the funniest person on radio right now.
So you're having an appeal to peer pressure, like, aha, you're funny, aha, look at him, childlike. I mean, you think your opinion has any effect on the facts?
Oh, my God, you're hilarious. Oh, my God. Look, pal,
so that's all you can do.
Right?
All you can do. All you can do. Guys, type it in. Type in members of the House call for return of fairness doctrine. And so we'll also put that up on screen for him here. I can do it right here. Congressman calls for return to fairness doctrine. Just you can put it up there. I mean, there you go. What they want is, quote, equal time. And that means you take official feeds and then you only sit there and report establishment news, and you can't say, I mean, they're trying to tell churches. Let me ask you this question, sir. Do you believe churches should be able to say that they don't agree with things that the government's doing?
Sure, it's free speech. Everyone does. You do, I do, everyone does.
No, they actually tell churches that under 501c3 they don't have any free speech.
That's what you asked. If I thought they could, and they should be able to. I do think they'd be able to.
Well, yeah, because it's called the First Amendment. Do you think that's just a quote from my website? Can you quote the First Amendment, please?
Congress shall make no I'm going to paraphrase. The Congress shall make no law infringing on religion and free speech. I can't remember the exact name.
And the reason you know it is because I guess you've been listening to the show. That's good.
No, I listen to actual radio, not a comedian. But
really? It's a comedian. Let me just stop you. We have an article, Bombshell, leaked UN treaty does ban guns. And since this came out in July, a month later, they did release it. We had the proper treaty. You can go check our subsections to the treaty. And we have links to Forbes, their analysis saying, yes, it does indeed call for a ban on guns. But then we have links to the subsections, outlaws most types of shotguns, greater reporting burdens on gun shops in southwest border states outside of law, and calls for the civilian abolition of firearms ownership. And it's literally a 13-page article, sir, with hyperlinks to the treaty and to all of the statements. I mean, are you still saying I'm lying?
Look, tell you what, I got to go do some actual work. You go home, watch the X-Files, wear your tinfoil hat. Those of us in reality have stuff to do. Bye, Jackass.
So, X-Files, let me ask you a question. Have you heard all the mainstream news admitting that the U.S. government sprayed radiologicals on U.S. cities like St. Louis? Oh, he hung up. UN agreement should have all gun owners up in arms, Forbes. And it goes on to say it does ban your firearms. That's Forbes, and then they link to the quotes. I just, I gave you ABC News. I gave you Forbes. I mean, ABC absolutely hates guns, hates me, Nightline attacks us. Listen, you're not going to stop us, okay? And when you try to come get our guns, everybody knows you people, we're not taking your guns. I mean, at Waco, they said this is not an assault as the tank was ramming into it, shooting the people. And, I mean, we're in a lot of trouble here, folks. Paul Watson's coming up, but I'm just going to get to him in the next hour because this is so important, the news he's got. But let's continue here with Robert in California. He's watching on PrisonPlanet.tv as well. Robert, tell me, I guess Obama's a great guy and I'm bad. Go ahead.
Well, I like Obama better because I'm in the military, and I've noticed that a lot of people, they're not even in reality. And so if Romney would have got elected, he's no better, and they would have just gone back to sleep. And they're playing fantasy football.
So you like Obama because he'll get the party really started. You like him because he's going to get this thing going quicker.
Yeah, we're fighting against truth and lies. It's not about left or right, blue or red. And that's what I learned from watching your show. It's all about knowing the truth. And right now people are just lost. And so, I mean, we need to elect this devil as president because whatever can get it down there where it needs to go, because it's got to get worse before it gets better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. But if we rot too long, though, they will win. But then it's still horrible to see the evil. I mean, they're announcing they're going to try to ban semi-autos right now on the news. And this guy's calling up saying, no, we're not. And again, that's a tactic by the establishment. I don't think it was a tactic by him. These Obama supporters and government lovers are so trusting and starry-eyed, he actually believes it. I mean, these people are zombies.
Well, Alex, you got to remember that the era of the white man is over.
Yeah, I'm like talking about coal power plants are going to be shut down, and the guy called in and said that. God bless you. Anything else?
They sound like PSYOP. They sound like, government, and like PSYOP. He didn't even sound like a real, like you said, he sounded like some sort of NCIS or some officer.
Yeah.
Trying to make you sound
by
crazy.
The way, let's do that. Let's do that. Guys, pull up. I forget the manual number. I have the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp, Army Regulation 210-35. I have the Internment Resettlement Operations for U.S. citizens, 3-39.40, for you and your family in a re-education camp. Internment and Resettlement Operations, FM-39.40. And more than 30 times in here, they talk about processing you in U.S. cities, Social Security numbers, where to put the kids, where to put people in the brigs, how to fortify the facilities from outsider attack if we try to free the people out of the camp. That's FM 3-39.40. And I've had countless current Army officers and people on record admit they're doing gun confiscation drills. There's Army Regulation 310-35, Civilian Inmate Labor Program. Headquarters, Department of Army, Washington, D.C., 14th January. Unclassified. How they're going to put you in camps. And they got the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp program that expands into the Model Health Emergency States garbage. And then you've got the Emergency Centers Establishment Act. Here's Civil Disturbance Operations, subcourse number MP 1005, Edition C. 6 credit hours. Adopted April 2006, and it's a long manual, but if you just go to Army Manual Outlines Plan to Confiscate Firearms, Detain Americans, and it talks about taking your guns, getting your Social Security number, cordoning the towns and cities. You might want to, it was a couple of years ago, an MP called up and said, hey, this just got declassified. You want to go read it? And we went and looked it up, and there it was. He goes, I've been waiting years to tell you this while it was classified. Now I can tell you about it. These guys still follow the rules, even though the government's criminal. I'm not judging you for that. I mean, you know what? I mean, if it was classified, they're raping little kids. You're going to keep it quiet? I mean, shove this in your pipe. That guy that called in, man, I can handle Obama supporters that call in and are reasonable. But you call in and start using, conspiracy terms and stuff. Listen, Jack. Everybody I know has got 50 guns and tens of thousands of rounds of ammo. And they're not excited about what's coming, but they're going to defend their families. When the government turns off your lights, I hope you love it. Just like the poor New Yorkers and people in New Jersey. I'm so sick of people like you. By the way, we conducted for $6,900, it's pretty expensive, a national poll. It's not our first. Last time I did one was about 4 years ago. It cost about $5,000. We used Harris. And Watson's going to put the article out today. You have to get your article approved when you use their material. Talk about a hassle. And I wouldn't normally do that, but that's part of the agreement to get a major respected polling agency to do a poll. And what we found ties into the TSA. It is what we thought we were going to find. Unbelievable, though. Big national scientific poll. That is coming up towards the end of the next hour when Mike Adams is in here with us. Listen, I'm going to tell the little boy that called in earlier, this ain't a game, Jack, okay? This isn't fun. And I hope you're still laughing later. And believe me, I hope things turn out okay and you're right. I know you're not. It actually really hurts me bad. Not that you were laughing at me, but that you're so weak. I'm going to go to some other Obama supporters, then Watson at 8 after. Paul Watson with some breaking news here on the TSA, and then other breaking news at the end of the next hour. I haven't plugged anything in an hour and 57 minutes. I haven't plugged anything in yesterday's show either because I'm just so focused. But when you buy ProPur water filters, the deal goes to the end of the week. We never offered a deal this good. 15% off on the best gravity filters out there. No one can even get close to this deal on the water filtration systems. And we've got discounts on the Life Straw and other things. All of that available at InfoWarsStore.com. And the small profit we make on these does help fund the operation. In side-by-side comparisons, there's nobody can even get close to ProPur when it comes to gravity-fed. InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139. And I know why people want to rationalize, because you're not evil. And you don't understand. I guess I've talked to these Obama supporters. Last one was really scary. I've got some more here. Henry and Grace and Colin and others. And we got Watson coming up with some big breaking news. The economy's going to hell in a handbasket by design. I mean, the day after he's elected, the same Wall Street banks put Obama in, gave him more money, almost 2-to-1 in some cases, well, 3-to-1 with Goldman Sachs, that they gave Mitt. Not because Mitt was good, but because Obama was the guy again. And now they say, oh, they don't like Obama, so they plunge the market. They're plunging it because they're getting ready to get you to accept a bunch of tax increases in the name of fixing it. It's so ridiculous. Let's go to one of these callers. Colin. Oh, no, Colin's not lined up first. Who's been holding the longest? Grace in Pennsylvania loves Obama, I guess. Go ahead. Tell me how much you love Obama.
Oh, okay. Can I say a couple of things and not be just put on hold or cut off?
Sure.
Okay. I voted for Obama because he's serious and sincere. For equal pay for women, global warming, Pell Grants, making college affordable, and health care. And you know why your man Mitt Romney lost? Because he's a severe fake, he's a severe hypocrite, and he's a severe swindler. He would tell you enough half-truths and distortions to pull you in. And once you pulled in, and if you don't, and once you find out the truth, it's too late. You've been had. And I'm not.
Okay, ma'am, you had 1 minute. I'm going to get a minute, and then you get a minute. Hold on a moment. If you were actually listening, you've heard me say over and over again, Mitt Romney was not my man, but that Obama supporters laugh at me. It's happened on the street now, at the store last night, and tell me your man lost. Ha, ha, ha. Listen, do you understand what I just said? Wall Street put more money into him than Romney, not because they liked Obama even over Romney. That was who they thought could con people better. And you sound like a seminar caller. The Democratic Party has these seminar calls. It's been known for 20 years where they give you a list. You're reading off a list. Now I know you could either written that down off the news as a talking point or someone gave it to you. Did you just hear me say that I understand it's about your man won, my guy lost. I understand I'm not in the ball game. I'm outside of it. We're about getting outside the box. Do you understand that?
Alarmist, and you're a coward. You're a coward.
I'm an alarmist and I'm a coward. Listen, ma'am, I just gave you 1 minute. I had exactly 1 minute. You just came back. Go ahead.
Why did you go over there and fight the terrorists over there? And as far as the debt ceiling, your man Ronald Reagan had raised the debt ceiling several times, and Obama only raised it 8. Bush, all the Republicans.
Wait a minute. Did somebody put a tweet out that you could call into a conservative show and Democrats think this is a mainline Republican show? Ma'am, have you ever heard my show before?
And still people will fear, and you go out, and it's so to the point that they might want to act on. You ask those people who
that is a talking point. Put her on hold. Put her on hold. That is a talking point that I'm going to cause violence. Did you hear that? I need to just, not be scared of all this tyranny and tell everybody, Obama, 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 go quietly. You know, when freedom fails, the best men rot in filthy jails, and those that cry to appease are hung by those they tried to please. Dear, I'm going to ask you one last question. Have you ever actually listened to my show?
To tell the truth, you are speaking polarizing poison rhetoric every day, and it's tearing this country apart.
Do I need to be shut down?
Hey, it's freedom of speech, just like I'm speaking. But people need to know that every day you are speaking polarizing poison rhetoric. It's just like a cancer. You cannot. What you're doing is not
I'm
right.
like a laser beam burning out the cancer, honey.
Awesome.
You know what? I know I've done the research. I know I'm right. And I'm sorry for you. You sound so dumbed down. You've been drinking fluoride your whole life. I bet you were on baby formula brought up. I bet your brain is probably half the size it should have developed. And I'm sorry the globalists did this to you. And ma'am, I'm going to fight for you, okay? I love you. I'm serious. I'm going to fight for you. Do you really believe that the people of California who were 2-to-1 in polls wanting to label their food as GMO, do you really believe that the electronic voting machines let them vote and that they voted to not have the food labeled when everything else is labeled? That is coming up. I am going to shake the show up, and I've said that. I'm going to start taking calls from socialists and communists and Obama supporters. And we've got more of them, and I'm going to tell you, it's very entertaining. And to hear them read off a Democratic Party script and, deny they want our guns and deny there's tax increases or deny there's death panels, and then we can play their own people calling for it. I mean, it really illustrates how dumb you've got to be to openly want socialism. Doesn't mean the Republicans are good either. They're dumb enough to think the Republican Party is going to save them, but at least they think, freedom is good and guns are good and abortion's bad. They get suckered by a corrupt system. But we're going to have to admit how much trouble we're in or have no hope. Now, I told you 10 years ago, because I saw C-SPAN, they said they were going to do it. Everybody's like, oh, they're never going to do that, and now they do. Highway checkpoints with TSA. The TSA now certifies police as if they're God. They go certified, actually trained, bonded people that you've now had a federal course. You can now stick your hands down people's pants without warrants. It's like a magic wand. The TSA is now taking people to the private grope rooms to abuse them and strip search them and radiate them. They're moving the radiator machines, which they admit have been killing people, to the smaller airports that haven't had a chance to be barbecued yet, and moving a new form of radiation-emitting machine out that major studies show hurts people. You can look those up. So all of that is happening and going on. And Paul Watson, a couple months ago, he said, shouldn't we do what you and others called for a couple years ago, the national opt-out? And also because the TSA's own website admits you're allowed to film them. You're just not allowed to cause a disturbance. But they lie and say, oh, I'm going to arrest you if you do that. I'm going to, whatever. They'll try to take your film. I'm saying, and we say in the article Paul wrote a month ago, that do it at your own risk, though, if you believe in freedom. I know we're going to go out and do it. It's film the TSA and opt out of the naked body scanners. And I think, Paul, you should get a report as part of that article that I know you're going to relink in an article we're putting out in about 30 minutes with some other big breaking news to the last article about the national opt-out film campaign. And maybe I create text that I can have my graphics crew create a nice flyer with quotes out of New York Times, Associated Press, with scientists saying the machines give you cancer, both the old ones and the new ones, and then have folks hand that out, to people at the airport. And they'll say no soliciting. You say, oh, I was just warning someone, go hand a few out. When they say leave, don't confront them, leave. And, of course, they may break your neck for it. I mean, the country's not free anymore. But Dondi had a bunch of TSA people recognize him when he was flying back from Rhode Island to see his family. He went up there to take care of him during the storm. And he said they all surrounded him, asked for autographs, said they loved the show, and that this is just a job for them, and they don't like being told to do what they're doing. And that's an important point I want to make now and go to Watson. Whatever you do, this is so important. Understand that we tend to blame the TSA at a primitive animal level. I do that too. Everywhere I go, they want my autograph, and they say, look, I've been here 5 years. It's the job I've got. It's actually pretty good paying. I try to, we try to not follow things. We want to unionize. And it's the supervisors. Well, that's who likes to abuse. That's who likes to rob. That's who they keep catching robbing everybody. That's who they put in. We've had insider TSA people blow the whistle, and they recognized their voices and came after them, where they actually, you heard the news say they don't do the background checks. No, they do them and then hire you when you're some type of criminal. Hitler did this, Stalin did this, Lenin did this, Mao did this. This is how they do it. So, yes, we cannot blame the TSA in the final equation because that just makes the better ones end up leaving, and then all you've got's the bad. That's part of the plan. In the final equation, it is the Congress who acts like they don't know about it when they did this, and the executive branch, and Obama, who's accelerated it. Let me tell you, his Justice Department, big sis, that woman is the one in there honchoing the in your pants and all the humiliation. It turns out they do that to the male. They've been settling the lawsuits that the men at the Justice Department say it's ruled by a bunch of crazed women. And we know about those type of cults. Janet Reno ran one of those. A lot of sheriff's departments get taken over by it. So the point is that it's not the sexual preference, folks. It's that the weird variant of some of those type of people always does this. Now, I'm done ranting. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the sites, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show.